Hello, and welcome to another episode of Miracle Monday. I am your host, Amanda Ranae, and if you're here, it's for miracles. And this week's miracle is super exciting. It's a miracle that I've seen happen twice in the last week, and whenever that happens, I know it means that other people need to hear about it and are in need of the same miracle. So tune in because this one's important. And the miracle that we're going to be talking about this week is the miracle of divine alignment. And that might sound a little bit fluffy, but here's what I actually mean by divine alignment. And this actually pertains to business specifically if you run your own business. And if you don't, then stay tuned because I'm going to tell you how it applies to you as well. So the miracle of this week of divine alignment, what that actually means is it's the miracle of structure that suits your soul. Structure that suits your soul. So there's this myth going around right now that there are like 3 success strategies that if you just implement one of those, then you're for sure going to be successful and everything's going to work out for you. And that's just not true. That's being taught by people who have found strategies that worked for them. But if you try to take on their strategies, what's going to happen is it may work for a little while, but it's actually going to hold you back in the end. It's actually going to dull your shine. It's actually going to prevent the people that are meant to work with you from finding you because they can't see past these structures that were not actually built to elevate and accentuate all that you're here to do in the world. And what I love, one of my favorite things about soul sessions is when I get to see someone's face when they're given structure that's actually suited for them, for their makeup, for their gifts, for the entirety of their life experience up until that point. What is the right structure for you in this moment? And it's literally like the runway clears and you can actually run. So that is a miracle in and of itself. It's beautiful to witness that happen and see what happens when people are able to get that structure. I had a client one time who received her structure that was suited for her soul, and she immediately signed a $10,000 client, and that was more than double what she was making before that one shift of getting a structure that was correct for her. And structure comes in all different forms. Different people need different pieces. Sometimes it's your pricing structure and really finding what's right for you that's going to allow those clients that are waiting for you to come in. Sometimes that looks like the actual structure of what your work looks like. Sometimes it looks like your work and your week and what your day-to-day life looks like. It's so many different things, but that structure, if it's off and if it's not designed precisely for you, then it's not going to be fully optimized. And you're here to do a lot, and that means you need a structure that suits you so that rather than having to hold it up, this is big. If you feel heavy, if you feel tired, if you feel like bogged down by your business, chances are it's because you're not in the right structure. You're actually in a structure that you're having to hold up, that you're carrying on your shoulders, rather than having a structure that builds you up, rather than having a structure that lifts you up because it's actually built underneath you. And so the stronger you build it, the wider you build it, the higher you build it, it's actually lifting and holding you rather than the other way around. And now the second piece, that is actually the first piece that's incredibly important, is clearing out what's in the way. So it doesn't matter. You could come to me, you could have a soul session, and you could get the perfect structure for you, for your soul, for your work and business. And if we don't clear out what's in the way, what's preventing you from having the abundance that you're meant to have, from having the income you desire, from living in the home that you want, from really serving people to the capacity that you know you're here to serve, if we don't clear out what's in the way, it really doesn't matter if you have the right structure or not. So clearing out what's in the way is so important because there are different things blocking you, and that's another one of the reasons why no matter how many different structures you try or strategies you try, you're still not seeing the traction that you know you can have, that you know you have the potential for. And it's because there's things that are in the way that need to be dealt with. And there was one woman in particular who came to me, and she's from the East Coast. We had an amazing, miraculous session. She walked away with the most perfectly aligned structure for her. And it was incredible to see her face light up, to see the lightness, to see the drive in her eyes being given something that's just for her, not for anybody else. Nobody's going to walk away with that structure except for her. And the most beautiful part about that to me was actually seeing the fog clear, like really seeing the fog clear of the things that she had been putting in place energetically, emotionally, mentally, to keep her from the level of influence that she's here to have, from the level of service that she's here to give the world. And it's beautiful watching that just vanish away. When that light bulb clicks, when that thing clears out of the way, so much opens up and you just have a free runway to run and really do what you're here to do, have the income that you're here to have. And here's the deal. If you're listening to this and you're like, well, this doesn't apply to me, I don't have my own business, or maybe I should have my own business, but I don't know. Listen, this applies to you. If you are out in the world, if you are working a job, if you stay at home with your kids, if you're in a career that is not for you at all, or if you're in the career that you know is exactly yours, if there is a level of income or satisfaction or happiness, any of the above that you aren't at, that you know, just having that feeling, all you need to know is, do you have that feeling of, there's got to be more than this, or I know that I can do more than this, or I know there's more than this in me, then this message is for you. Because there's something in your world that's not designed, that's not divinely designed specifically for you. It's not in alignment with your original blueprints. And I've talked about this a lot in Miracle Mondays before, that there is an original blueprint for you that you came in with. And the more aligned to that blueprint you get, the more ease there is in your life, the more flow, the more income and abundance, the more grace, the more health, the more wellness, the more happiness, the more prosperity in every area. And so no matter what lane you're running in right now, if you have your own business, if you work for another company, if you stay at home with your kids, fill in the blank for all the other life options, if there is an aspect of you that's thinking, I know there's more though, this message is for you. And you need to reach out to me. Let's talk so that we can get you into the nuanced lane that's really, really meant for you, so that you can do what you're here to do and have what you're here to have and bless those that you're here to bless. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's about, is making sure that the world is getting your gifts. And I can't think of anything that brings me more joy than seeing the light come on in your eyes when you know that you're really giving everything that you're here to give. So I hope that this blesses you. If this message was for you, then I'm so glad that you showed up to listen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to the end. May you be very, very, very blessed by this message, by the miracles it unlocks for you. If you know this was for you and you need to reach out to me and it's your time and you've been watching these and you're like, when is it? Today's the day. Send me a message. Let's talk and see what's possible for you. And if not, if you're just here and loving the videos, then please continue to love it up, share it, help me spread more miracles into the world, because we need it now more than ever. And I will see you next week with another miracle. Mwah. Talk to you then.